our lead now coming from the Western Conference. There are no more games. No more. In the Western Conference Finals, it is all the post-mortem now, as while I was away, traveling back from the Twin Cities to the West Coast, the Nuggets vaporized the Lakers in 4 games. Lakers couldn't even win a game. Denver, how great is that? The mile-high salute as the Nuggets make quick work of the clearly outclassed, overmatched squad from La La Land. Now, in the fallout from the mortification, you talk about being pathetic, getting swept. LeBron, of course, stole the headlines. He made it all about LeBron. It's been talked about in this news cycle in the sporting world nonstop, over and over again. Everyone's got a hot take on this. Somehow, if you missed it, well, the Lakers had their getaway day, right? Getaway day, locker room clean-out day. It's a tradition in sports. All but one player on the Lakers reported to the practice facility. The players had their exit meetings with coaches in the front office. They packed up their equipment, personal belongings, and headed off into the wild blue yonder as the offseason arriving for the Lakers. But, of course, LeBron James failed to show up the day after he was excommunicated from the postseason. LeBron decided not to show up. Now, he did tease, and he is contemplating retirement after being overpowered late in games, game after game, by Denver. So let us discuss the question. What are the odds that LeBron James retires from the NBA? So the odds on LeBron James retiring, I'm going to set the odds on the Maller book at plus 5,000. That implies a less than 2% chance. A less than 2% chance of this happening. Then I have Primo Uomo, dog walking, and elevator. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a nice tropical vacation, which is where LeBron James will be going in the near future. So number one. LeBron James is not going to retire. Forget about it. It's absolute I can't say the word I want to say. Let's just say it's silliness, okay? You don't tell people you're thinking of retiring. You know what you do? You retire. If you want to retire, you retire. That's it. Checkmate, right? This is just a play for attention. Why? LeBron James is a whore. He's an attention whore. That's who LeBron is, and he's just posturing. That's it. You don't need to posture. If you want to retire, you just retire. You say, that's it. I'm done. See you later. You do what Tim Duncan did with the Spurs. You put on a pair of dad jeans and you walk away. That's it. But LeBron James is not about that action, boss. He's just playing, right? He's a Primo Uomo is what he is, right? He's a male lead of the Hoops Opera. He's temperamental, self-absorbed. He needs all of the attention. LeBron James has every intention of continuing to play until Bronny James arrives in the NBA. So that means he's going to play a couple more years. It's all laid out, the best laid plans of mice and men. He's got 2 years left on his contract, and then he can do the Griffey Mambo, the father-son duet in baseball. They can do the NBA version here, and then fade in the sunset when Ken Griffey Sr. played with his son on the Seattle Mariners many, many years ago. By the way, am I the only one who thinks it's amusing that the LA media gives LeBron James a hall pass? The NBA media gives LeBron a pass. He was a no-show to clean out your locker day. He's the headliner. He's the face of the franchise. He's the most important man on the planet. But he's too important to be part of an event, which is what we call it take your medicine day. Where you got to show up, you've been embarrassed, you've been mortified, and it's part of the process of losing in the playoffs, and LeBron is too good for that. He can't be bothered to show up while everyone else showed up. LeBron, he can't be trouble with that. What a joke. What kind of leader is that? That explains why the Lakers got swept by the Nuggets and should have lost in the first round of the playoffs altogether. Now, secondly, why did LeBron James plant the seed of stepping away from the game? Why did he hint at stepping away from the game? So this was, in addition to being an attention whore, this was a dog-walking exercise. Ergo, wag the dog. LeBron James was punked. Anybody that knows basketball knows this guy choked on a nugget. Okay, he didn't chew his food. He got chewed up late in games. Every single game, he sucked at a time you cannot suck. So what does LeBron James do? Rather than just admit his frailties, no. He's got to wag the dog. He cooks up a high-profile event to distract the media from the embarrassment, from the damage done by being swept by the Denver Nuggets and crumbling down the stretch. So you create this scenario where you're talking about retirement and contemplating going away from the NBA. And that way, all of the media elites, they don't talk about you flopping in crunch time and needing oxygen in the fourth quarter. How bad was it? LeBron James, the ultimate closer, in the fourth quarter against the Denver Nuggets in every one of those games within reach. And what does LeBron James do? He took 23 shots in the fourth quarter, and he missed 16 of them in the 4 games. That is a 30% shooting percentage. How about from downtown? The LeBrick house was being built. LeBron shot 10% from three-point land in the fourth quarter against the Denver Nuggets. And that's not a one-off. This has been a trend that has been running throughout the playoffs where LeBron has a car that's got a hole in the gas tank and runs out of fuel late in games. LeBron James, as a closer in the 2023 postseason, in the fourth quarter, collectively shot 32.8%, including all the playoff games. In the fourth quarter, I'm not making this up, from three-point range, LeBron James took 25 three-point shots in the fourth quarter. He missed 23 of them. He was 2 of 25 from downtown in the fourth quarter. I can go on and on and on. But what we just witnessed, you and I, watching the Western Conference Final, was validation. This validated how bogus, how embarrassing the 2020 Mickey Mouse season really was, and why the NBA should void that championship, which is not real, and the Lakers just proved it. Because take the Lakers outside a resort in Orlando, put them on the road where they have to have a hostile environment, they have to travel, and LeBron James, as a Laker, has been an abject failure in the postseason. That is a fact, Jack. He needed a Ja Morant injury in round 1. Otherwise, Memphis beats the Lakers. He needed officials meddling in round 2 with Golden State and Klay Thompson. Also, the officials messed up in round 1, helping the Lakers out. Klay Thompson, how many wide-open three-point shots did he have to miss for the Lakers to advance? But this performance gives credence to what we've been saying for years, and it's complete validation and confirmation. The 2020 Lakers, a joke, and the NBA's fraudulent for allowing that to stand the test of time, because it's embarrassing. Every other opportunity, LeBron James has folded, can't handle it. But when he's got the resort, he goes back, he walks about 50 feet to his resort condo there in Florida. He's fine. So for the Lakers to win another championship with LeBron, they need a global pandemic and to go back to Florida and play the postseason after getting 5 months off. All right, final point. So let's go over to the Denver side. How are things going now for the Nuggets? So I'm glad you asked. It is more of the same. As predicted by Coach Michael Malone and Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, Denver is good, but they're not talked about good. Why? They are not sexy. The Nuggets continue to be, and will continue to be for the foreseeable future, even if they win the championship, an afterthought. They are elevator music. They are played in the background. It's been a nice, soothing run, but no fanfare. They're just canned music that gets a little attention and not much more than that. And you like it's calming, but that's it. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are both wonderful. They've been playing very well in the playoffs. They put on a masterclass, shoved it down the throat of LeBron and the Lakers. And how great was that to see all those phony Laker historians take it on the chin. What an embarrassment. And I loved every second of it. However, Jokic and Murray, they don't move the needle. And that's the problem, right? They don't move the needle. And when you are in broadcasting, not narrowcasting, it becomes problematic. And so we are happy for the Nuggets. We wish them well in the NBA Finals, but they are not going to get the attention. And I love the people who are complaining, people in the media complaining that we're not talking about the Nuggets enough. I saw Charles Barkley went on a rant about this and some other people who were complaining about it. Clearly, they don't understand that what I've said all along, the better story is in the losing locker room, but then you also have to have the star factor, and you're doing the broadcasting, not narrowcasting, and so that becomes another issue, another hurdle that you have to get past. Just like the San Antonio Spurs had a run of dominance, and they were boring. People didn't talk about them very much because they were bad television, bad radio, and bad podcasting. They were just bad to talk about because they were dull. And nobody wants to talk about dull. Nobody wants to talk about boring. Okay, those were boring and dull, and that's a fact.